Over the last 10 years, I have tried to learn how to build guitars. I've spent a lot of money, a lot of time and effort, and I've completed 3. But along the way, I've made lots of mistakes, and there's been several guitars that I started that I was never able to finish. There were fatal flaws that had taken place. And one of the things I enjoy most about trying to build guitars is you have got to be deadly accurate on everything you do. Your measurements have to be spot on. If you build a chair and one leg's too short, you just cut the other 3 legs to match. It's not a big deal. On a guitar, the dimensions are very precise, and they have to be carried out to the millimeter. And you make a small mistake and it can derail your entire project. So about a year ago, I started on another guitar, but then I got derailed. I started working on another project. I decided I was gonna try to build a mandolin, and I spent a lot of time doing that, and it didn't work out. And then summer came along, and when you're in this shop in June, July, and August, you feel like you're just a mile or 2 from the face of the sun. So I've not been in here for a while, and I've decided I'm gonna pick up where I left off on that guitar. So real quick, where I am so far, I have built the back, I bent the sides, I joined the back to the sides, I've done the bracing on the inside, and I've got the top, and I've jointed the seam on the top, glued it together, cut it to dimensions. And this is Sitka spruce, but it's got a bear claw grain. And it's really beautiful. If this comes together, it's really gonna be a real beautiful, beautiful top. So here we go. We'll try to build another one. What I'm going to do now is start cutting the channels to install the rosette. There's a herringbone rosette, and then there'll be a black, white, black purfling that'll go inside of the rosette and outside. And the way you mark that is, I have a template. You lay the template here, you line it up with your center line. There's the dimensions of the sound hole. Take a pencil, you draw that mark. I will then drill a hole, and I will use a Dremel tool that we have right here. It's on a Dremel arm, and this peg right here will go into the hole that's drilled here, and then you will cut a circle. I've got a book here that I put together a long time ago that has all of the dimensions, and this is how, those were the original dimensions that I put in, but I've adjusted them, and that's where I will cut my channels. So let's get started doing that. I am about to cut the channel to put this piece of purfling. I've set the depth to be just a little shy of that. I have the Dremel in the Dremel arm. I've got it centered, or I've got it in the hole that's centered on the sound hole, and I have it measured 3 millimeters from the top of where the sound hole will be. So let's get started. We'll clear the sawdust out of here. And we'll test and see if it is wide enough or if I can do another pass. And it is just the right length. So now we'll do the rosette. So I've installed the rosette, but you can tell, I think you can see, that it's quite proud. You'd rather leave it proud because you don't want to risk, plowing through to the back of the top here. So what I'm going to do is take a block plane and just take a little bit of this off. You can hear we got some gunfire in the backyard, or somewhere in the neighborhood. So that's getting it close. This outer ring, I used a thicker piece of purfling than I did on the inner ring, and it was much taller, it sits much more proud. So I want to get it close to the other two, and then I'm going to run it through my drum sander and bring it all down to the same thickness. I sanded the rosette down to where it's just about flush, and now I'm going to complete the cutting out of the sound hole. I've already made one pass. You really shouldn't try to do it in one pass. Puts too much wear and tear on your bit. So this will be the second pass. I think the depth is there where it will cut the sound hole. There it is, sound hole. Yay! So at this point, I don't know why, but I always sign my name. And today is what's the day? I'm not sure. The 7th, maybe? When I installed the rosette, the thickness of the top was 3.5, in the neighborhood of 3.5 millimeters. The final thickness for the soundboard that I'm shooting for is 2.5 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is run it through my drum sander till I get that thickness. Now I've already ran it through a few times, and I'm real close to that 2.5. So I'm going to run it through one more time and see if we can hit that final target. send it through twice, turning it around to make sure I get an even thickness on both sides. See what we have here. That is 2.55. That says 2.8, 2.6, 2.8, 2.5, 2.45. So that is certainly within tolerances. Now that soundboard is at the final thickness, or close to the final thickness, there'll be some more sanding that might remove just a tiny bit. But this is Sitka spruce, and it's called a tone wood. And the reason that it's called a tone wood, and the reason it's used for guitars, to build guitars, is it does have a tonal quality to it. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear it as well as you could if you were here in the shop, but when you tap it, there's absolutely a musical note there, or tone. And if all works out, that tone will be making beautiful music in the near future.